How would you know?
Okay, Yellowstone fam, did anyone see that coming? The shocking death of Sarah Atwood sent ripples through the Dutton ranch and left us with jaws on the floor. But why did Market Equity's ruthless shark meet such a brutal end? Seriously, what just happened? We're breaking down the shocking reason behind her death in Season 5. And trust me, the fallout is gonna be huge. Was it a calculated move by a key player, or did something far more unexpected seal her fate? Let's find out more. Sarah Atwood's death. Alright, Yellowstone fans, let's talk about Season 5, Part 2. It's not just about the Duttons anymore. We're finally getting some deeper dives into the supporting characters, which is awesome. We've seen how the next generation is stepping up, or not, to run the ranch now that John's no longer pulling the strings in the state government. And speaking of John, you'd think his death would be Jaime's ticket to the top, right? He'd finally be free of his father's shadow and able to consolidate his own power. Wrong. Turns out discovering that Daddy Dearest was murdered throws a major wrench in his plans. Suddenly, Jaime's position as Attorney General is looking a whole lot less secure. The pressure is on, and he's starting to crack. So what does he do? He runs straight to Sarah Atwood, his manipulative, power-hungry partner in crime, looking for answers, reassurance, or maybe just someone to share the weight of his impending doom. But Sarah's got her own problems. The police reopening John's death investigation has her sweating bullets too. Turns out, playing dirty has consequences, who knew? Their little meeting of the minds quickly explodes into a full-blown argument, complete with yelling, accusations, and even a bit of shoving. Sarah, ever the dramatic queen, storms out, leaving Jaime to stew in his own mess. Just when you think things can't get any more complicated, Jaime calls Sarah, and they actually manage to patch things up. A momentary truce in the midst of all the chaos. Too bad it's short-lived, because while they're busy making amends over the phone, someone else is making moves. And those moves involve a gun. Yep, you guessed it. Just as Sarah and Jaime are finding their way back to each other, she's brutally gunned down in broad daylight, right there on the street, phone still clutched in her hand. Poor Jaime probably wishes he'd stayed on her bad side now. So, who ordered the hit? And what does this mean for the future of Yellowstone? The drama's just getting started, folks, but who's the killer? So, the million-dollar question on everyone's mind is, who ordered the hit on Sarah Atwood? The obvious suspects? Team John, of course. Beth Dutton. The first name that pops into everyone's head? Beth Dutton. Let's be real, those two never exactly got along. And after Sarah's involvement in John's death, well, let's just say Beth wanting revenge wouldn't be a surprise. Jaime might be at the top of Beth's hit list, but Sarah was definitely a close second. Beth knows Sarah played a role in the whole staged suicide thing, and considering Beth's history, taking out Sarah wouldn't exactly be out of character. Now, here's where things get interesting. Dawn Olivieri, the actress who played Sarah, did an interview after the episode aired. She didn't outright say who killed Sarah, but she dropped a pretty intriguing hint. She said something about everyone being happy that the train station came. For those who don't know, the train station is where the Duttons bury their enemies. So, Olivieri mentioned the train station? Pretty suspicious, and it definitely points the finger at Beth. Of course, Olivieri could have just been speaking figuratively, but let's be honest, Beth being behind Sarah's death makes a lot of sense. It fits her character, her motivations, and her history. It makes her a prime suspect in this shocking Yellowstone twist. But hold on, there's another possibility. Remember that guy Sarah hired to, well, take care of John? Maybe he got wind of the whole suicide-turned-homicide situation and decided to take matters into his own hands. Tie up loose ends, so to speak, just in case Sarah got chatty. And if that's the case, things are about to get even messier for the Duttons. Imagine if Jaime jumps to the conclusion that Beth is behind Sarah's death. We're talking about an all-out war. Then there's the Market Equities. Another possible culprit in Sarah's murder is Market Equities, the company she worked for. Think about it. The change in John's cause of death from suicide to homicide probably sent shockwaves through Market Equities. They might have panicked, worried about being implicated in the whole mess. So, what do? They take drastic measures to protect themselves, which could mean silencing Sarah permanently. Hiring assassins to eliminate her would be a brutal but effective way to distance themselves from her actions. Market Equity's main priority is always going to be self-preservation. If anyone found out they were involved in the assassination of the Montana governor, the company would be ruined. All their plans for the state, all their investments gone. So, taking out Sarah, even though she was a valuable asset, might have been seen as a necessary evil. While Market Equities might not be the most obvious suspect, their motive is clear. They had a lot to lose if Sarah started talking. It's a cold, calculated move, but definitely within the realm of possibility in the cutthroat world of Yellowstone. Unfortunately, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the final 3 episodes. But judging by the teaser for episode 12, with both his dad and his, shall we say, complicated partner gone, Jamie's not exactly looking innocent himself. He's definitely got some explaining to do. Here's what's next. That season 5, episode 12 teaser is giving us serious anxiety. We see Jamie frantically scrambling for papers. Classic sign of a guilty conscience, if you ask me. Meanwhile, Case and Beth are discussing the very real possibility that the authorities are closing in on their brother. Police are circling Jamie. This is all gonna come to a head real quick, Case warns. And Beth, ever the pragmatist, lays out the stakes. If they arrest Jamie, he will sing every secret our father ever had. He will ruin this family's name to save his own. So not only is Jamie potentially facing criminal charges, but he's also a ticking time bomb that could bring down the entire Dutton dynasty. This final stretch of Yellowstone is shaping up to be pretty insane. But what does her death change for Yellowstone? Okay, let's be real. The Jamie and Sarah thing has been kind of confusing, right? Like, are they actually in love? Or is it just a power move? Yellowstone has been playing it pretty close to the chest. Their whole whirlwind romance has definitely worked out for both of them. Jamie, constantly getting the cold shoulder from the Duttons, found someone in his corner, someone powerful. In Sarah. And Sarah? Being buddy-buddy with the Attorney General? Total career booster. But even though their relationship is all kinds of messed up, that last phone call, it felt like there might have been something real there. Maybe. Now, with Sarah gone, things are about to get crazy. Losing John, a dad he barely knew and was always trying to impress, was tough. But losing Sarah, that hits different. John was a lifetime of disappointment. Sarah, even with all her drama, was someone who seemed to get him, you know? Now, he's totally alone. And sometimes being alone is what forces you to grow a backbone. And you know what happens when Jamie gets a backbone? Chaos. He's grieving, he's furious, and he's probably going to blame Beth. Let's be honest, he was already looking for a reason to go after her, and this is the perfect excuse. Get ready, people, because the Dutton family feud is about to explode. Sarah's death is the match that's going to light the whole thing up, and these last few episodes of Yellowstone are going to be wild. Now, some people are saying her death was even bigger of a deal than John's. Sarah versus John's death. But what is the logic behind this comparison? Wait, let me break it down. Here's why Sarah's death in Yellowstone is arguably even more monumental than John's. John's death, while tragic, was expected. Let's be honest, with all the rumors about Kevin Costner leaving the show, we were kind of bracing ourselves for it. But Sarah, totally out of left field. Episode 11 starts out revisiting the night John died, and you think the whole episode is going to be about the Duttons uncovering the truth. The focus shifts to Jamie, and before you know it, Sarah's been murdered. While Sarah wasn't a main character like John, her death is a massive twist. She was being set up as the ultimate villain of Season 5. And now, everything's changed. What are Beth and Case going to do with their revenge plans now that their target is gone? All eyes are on Jamie, who's going to bear the brunt of their suspicion and anger. Plus, Sarah's murder creates a whole new mystery. Who ordered the hit? It doesn't seem like Beth, even with her ruthless tactics, is behind this one. So, who is it? There you have it, guys, the shocking reason behind Sarah Atwood's death in Yellowstone Season 5, and what it means for everyone at the ranch. We've explored the suspects, the motives, and the potential fallout. But ultimately, the biggest question remains. Who did order the hit? And what will the consequences be? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We can't wait to discuss the final episodes with you.